All right, Ivana. Ivana, let's just get straight into your story. You got involved with a man who. Tell me about the man that you were involved with for how many years?
I was involved with a man in the Indiana State Prison. He was on death row.
How many years were you guys?
About 3 to 4 years.
And how did you meet him?
Actually, I didn't meet him. I saw him on a documentary on YouTube, and I decided to write him a letter. And he responded, and one thing led to another, and I went to visit him, and we just fell in love.
So you flew from Sweden to Indiana.
Exactly.
How many times did you go to see him?
Over 10 times. So we had every time I went to see him, we had a week scheduled so we could meet the whole week. We had visits the whole week for the whole day.
Oh, you'd be able to see him for the entire day?
Yeah. Until 4 o'clock.
Even though he's on death row?
Yeah. Because I was a long distance traveler.
Oh, I see. And what was he on death row for?
He's on death row for killing a cop officer.
A police officer?
Police officer. He was running from the cop, and he figured if he would shoot some bullets back at him, he would stop chasing him. But unfortunately, the bullets hit the cop, and he passed away. So, yeah.
So he's in there for life.
Yeah.
What was it? How old were you when you met him?
I was 23, I think. 24, maybe.
What attracted you to his name is Benjamin?
Benjamin.
What attracted you to Benjamin?
I can't put it in words. Like, it was just a feeling he gave me when I saw him the first time, and when I looked into his eyes, I just felt that I wanted to be with him forever. And I don't know what. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Even though he's behind bars, you still wanted a relationship with him?
Yeah, my thinking was I couldn't imagine a life without him. So it was either be with him or die with him. So yeah.
You fell in love hard. What were the qualities in Benjamin that you liked?
I like how kind he is, and some things. He has some things that I can relate to. He's similar to me in a way. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you feel like he was misunderstood?
Yes.
And do you think you maybe understood him better than most people?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your childhood like? You grew up in what city in Sweden?
Yeah, I was born in Bosnia
Oh, you were.
during the war there. And when I was 2 years old, my family moved to Sweden, and we moved a lot. Like, we moved a lot around Sweden. And
I'd like to thank BetterHelp for being a sponsor of today's video. I think a lot of my viewers are going through things, just like we all are, whether you're a viewer or not of this channel. I think everybody goes through something. And whether it's depression or anxiety or you're just going through a tough period of your life, talking with a professional can be really helpful. You know, personally, I go through just the stress of talking to so many people that are going through tough times, tough stories, is hard on me. And talking with a therapist is really helpful. So I just started doing that recently. It's been really great for me. I'm a huge fan of therapy. And with BetterHelp, you can have your therapy session as a phone call or a video session, or even messaging if you prefer. Whatever's most comfortable for you. I did mine as video, which is great. It's just like being in their office, but you're doing it from the comfort of your own home. And my BetterHelp therapist has been wonderful. Right from the get-go, he kind of figured out what my deal is and was really helpful. And what's great about BetterHelp is you get paired with a therapist. You're matched within 48 hours in most cases. If you're just not feeling it with your therapist, you can try another one. Or you can try as many times as you like until you find someone that you're comfortable with. And you can do that at no additional charge, which is really nice. So if you'd like to join the over 4 million people that have taken charge of their mental health by talking with an experienced BetterHelp therapist, you can actually get 10% off by going to betterhelp.com/soft white underbelly or click on the link in the video description box below. Thank you for watching, and now back to the video.
yeah, my dad was not a great person. He, like, when we lived, I have 4 siblings, 3 older sisters and 1 younger brother. And my older sisters, they're like 15 something years older than me. They lived in Bosnia, and they experienced a lot of stuff with my dad. He was he was an alcoholic, and he was in prison a lot, and he used to beat up my mom, my sisters, and he used to be gone for like a lot of days and just come back and just tear up the house. And my mom was working 2 jobs. She had a tough time. And having 3 kids, and then me on the way. It was tough for her. And the thing is that the morning when we were supposed to leave to Sweden, my dad was sleeping because the night before he was drinking, so he was sleeping the morning we were supposed to leave. And my sisters begged my mom to not wake him up, to just leave him there. But my mom decided to wake him up and take him with us to Sweden. So he didn't change. Like when we got to Sweden, he was the same. But the thing is that he was always good to me for some reason. I don't know why. He has never hit me. Like I said, I have a younger brother. He got beaten too, but my dad was always good to me. So I don't know.
How would you describe your childhood in general?
It was, I was a quiet child, and I never asked for anything. You could just leave me, and I would just sit there and play by myself. But it was a lot of chaos, and every Christmas and New Year, my dad would get drunk and smash the Christmas tree and the whole house, and beat my mom up and call her names and things like that. And yeah.
So a lot of violence in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel understood as a young girl?
No, not at all. Not by anyone.
Did you have friends?
We moved a lot, so I did have friends, and then I had to leave those friends and get new friends and leave those friends. So yeah, I have friends, but I always had to leave my friends.
Where is your family from originally?
From Bosnia.
Your parents are from there as well?
Yeah, my dad's parents are from Ukraine, and I think he's born in Bosnia. But he had a tough childhood too. They were like 11, I think 11 children in his household, and his parents treated the children like animals. They gave, like, the children were sitting under when they were supposed to eat. The children were sitting under the table, and the parents gave them like bones to eat. The parents ate the meat and gave their children the bones. So I kind of understand why my dad is fucked up like he is. He had a really tough childhood too.
And how old are you now?
I'm 30. I don't know. 32 or 31, I don't know.
Okay. And do you have children?
Yeah, I have a daughter.
The daughter is from a previous relationship?
Yeah. Her name is Iris. and she's the reason I changed my life, because after everything with Benjamin, when we stopped talking, the reason why we stopped talking was because the whole time when we were talking, we had a plan to break him out. I was supposed to hijack a helicopter and break him out. That was our plan.
You were going to break him out of prison?
Yeah.
And who's going to fly the helicopter?
Well, there were places around there that you could hire a ride, and yeah. Anyway, we talked about this for a long time, and that was what I was imagining it to be. I was imagining it to happen like that. But
was that a plan or just a fantasy?
Well, for me, it was a plan. We before we got him a cell phone in the prison, but before that, we had like secret messages. We had like a system to write secret messages to each other in the letters. So that's how we were planning, and also on the visits. But yeah, it was a plan. It was. And then in the end, he told me he didn't want to risk my life for him getting out. And that's when I went like crazy, because my whole plan for my life was to be with him. And when he told me that, I just started doing opiates. I got the taste of the opiates when I did a surgery. And I continued. And then I met a drug dealer that dealed heroin. And that was much cheaper than the pills I was taking. So I was with this guy just for the drugs.
You got addicted to heroin?
Yeah.
This was after you separated from Benjamin?
We were talking, we were still talking, but I wasn't honest with him, because that was his biggest fear, that I would do that. And I didn't want to upset him, so I didn't tell him I was doing that.
Was your goal with Benjamin to have a family and live a...
No, I knew we could never have... Well, that's what I wanted, but I knew we could never have a family. But my goal was just to get him out and have like a week with him, and then maybe get killed by the cops. To be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Your love for him was that strong?
Yeah.
Are you still in love with him today?
I haven't... I don't know. I can't even, I can't even look him up to see what's going on, because it takes me back to that time and to all these feelings.
Did you at any time question your judgment here and think that this was not a relationship that was meant to work out?
I knew it wasn't meant to work out. But I loved him, and when I love someone, I mean, I just felt like if he was gonna get executed and die, and I love him, I could die too. I wanted to die too, with him. And the feeling when I thought about it, dying next to him, it was a good feeling, because I was dying with someone that I love.
Have you ever had a love like that before?
No.
You'd say Benjamin was the love of your life then?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you guys separate? How did you end it? Because he's still alive?
That's what I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? Because he may have been executed?
That's what I'm afraid of. That's why I can't look him up. That's why I can't. Because I promised I would be there.
For his execution?
Yeah. And so I don't know.
Did you ever question the decision to choose an almost impossible partner for a relationship? Certainly there's a million eligible young men in Sweden that might make a better partner than a death row inmate in Indiana.
Yeah, I know. But when I fall in love, I can't imagine being with someone else. Like, I don't see anyone else but that person I'm in love with.
Yeah, that's common. But just the ability to be, like, when you first noticed, like, all right, so this guy's in prison, this is going to be a lot of work. You saw that at some point, but you went forward anyway?
Yeah.
The heart wants what the heart wants, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the problem with me. I don't follow my brain, I follow my heart. And that's my biggest problem in life, I think, with everything.
Would you describe yourself as self-destructive?
Maybe when I was younger. Not now. Now I just want to have a normal, calm, stress-free life, and raise my daughter and give her everything she deserves. That's my goal.
Would that be boring?
Would that be boring?
Would that be boring for you?
Yeah, but it's not about me now.
It's about her.
Yeah.
Looking back, are there things you would have done differently if you had another chance?
Yeah, I would. It's hard to say. It's hard to answer that question because at the same, I want to say yes because it would have been much easier for me if the whole thing with Benjamin didn't happen. But at the same time, I believe it was meant to happen, and I don't think I would have done anything differently. I don't think so.
Did you ever talk about marriage with Benjamin?
Yeah. We wanted to get married in prison. And me moving to closer to him. And stuff like that.
How would you communicate? Through the cell phone?
Yeah. I spent all my money on I mean, he didn't ask me for anything. It wasn't like that. But I spent all my money on traveling, and a cell phone is not cheap in prison because the guards have to be involved and they want to be paid, you know. So all my money went to the cell phone, visiting him, and but when he got the cell phone and we got to talk 24/7, it was amazing.
It made you happy?
Very happy. It was really amazing.
Is that the happiest you've ever been in your life?
Yeah, yeah.
Is there any aspect of that relationship with Benjamin that, because it's almost impossible to commit because he's locked up, that it made it easier for you to move forward?
I'm sorry.
If Benjamin was not in prison and he lived across the street,
Mm-hmm.
it would have been very easy to fall into a relationship with him.
Mm-hmm.
No obstacles.
Yeah.
But because Benjamin had a million gigantic obstacles between you,
Yeah.
did it make it easier for you to fall in love with him because of all these obstacles?
Maybe. I don't know. But I think he's just so special. Like, I've never seen someone like him. Until this day, today, I haven't seen a man like him. His eyes were like they were so beautiful, and the way he talked to me and made me feel.
What qualities did Benjamin have that you liked about his personality?
I liked he was funny, and even though he was on death row, he was positive, and he made me feel beautiful and loved, and he made me feel like I was the only girl in the world.
Back to the shooting of the police officer, what was he involved in that the police were chasing him?
he was. They were hijacking. I can't explain this. What does hijacking mean?
Like if somebody was driving a car, you would put a gun to their head and you would steal the car from them or have them drive it for you?
Yeah. Hijacking, I can't really remember.
But there was some criminal activity that led to that.
Yeah. I can't I forgot what it was, but...
Mm-hmm. But had he done things before to get in trouble with the law?
Yeah.
So he had a history of things like this?
Yeah. And he said when he used to be when he was young, every time he would drive by a prison, he knew he would end up there. When he was like a little boy, he knew that. That's what he said.
What was Benjamin's childhood like? Do you know?
He was living with his grandparents.
When he was young?
Mm-hmm. Because his mom was not a great mom, and his dad chose another family. So, yeah. He had a hard childhood.
Ivana, what would you say is your biggest fear now?
My biggest fear would be to see my daughter go the wrong path in life, or something happening to her, or I don't know. I guess she's my everything,
And your opiate addiction, you're clean from that?
yeah. I get clean because of her, my daughter. The thing was, when I met this guy that sold heroin, I was living with him. He was in love with me. I wasn't in love with him.
You were or were not?
Or not.
You were not.
I was with him because of the drugs. And it continued for like 2 years, 3 years, maybe. And then, like, he used to buy a big amount from, the real guy, and sell it every month, and get some money and give him the rest. But he was also he had addiction to what do you call it? Gambling. And he screwed up everything because he was good at gambling, and he won a lot of money, a lot of times, but he lost everything that he was supposed to give the person that gave him the drugs to sell. And then he just decided to quit. And I wasn't ready to quit. I just wasn't ready. So I begged him, like, please, just go, because I was getting sick. That was like the first time I experienced getting sick from heroin. And he was just like, no, I'm quitting. And so I tried to get my own contacts. And I managed to do so. I managed to get in contact with a really good guy. They lived in another city in Sweden. And I bought from him and tried to sell a little bit at a time to be able to continue using. And that worked for a while until people wouldn't pay, and because I'm a girl and it was just me, until I didn't have any money left. So when I didn't have any money left, I didn't have any drugs. I had one option only, and that was to go to another old man that I met that also sells, and he lived also in this other city, and live with him, and be his I don't know what you would call it, girlfriend maybe. And I bought the tickets, train tickets, to leave. Because I was so sick. And my mom begged me to just stay home, please. Don't leave, please stay home. And I was exhausted. I was so exhausted. So I just decided to, okay, I'm gonna just lay down, and whatever happens, happens. I lay down on my mom's couch, and that's when I quit. I was sick for 2 months. The first month was the worst. I couldn't even walk.
No Suboxone or anything else? No methadone?
No,
just
nothing.
Cold turkey?
Yeah.
Wow. Ivana, what would you say, if anything, did you learn from the relationship with Benjamin?
I learned one decision can change the your whole life. Like the decision I made to write him changed my life to, all the things that came after, the drugs, and I don't think I would ever have started with drugs if I didn't meet him and fall so hard for him.
All right, Ivana, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
I wish you lots of luck with your daughter and the rest of your life.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.